pay legislation deems that there should be.
Of course, there's going to be feedback. All changes saved. Okay, well. Okay, pop out the chat right there. Always takes me a little while to get things done. Let's go ahead and minimize that. Volume mixer. Mute that crap. Cool. Hey, we got a watcher. Okay, let's resume my game here. If you're a fan of this game, you're going to you're going to learn, not lose, learn a lot. WK, WK, WK. Whitest kid, whitest kid, whitest kid. Is that what that means? 2 watching. Hey, holy shit. Oh, wait. Let's see. What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's go to mission control. What's active? Plant a flag on room and rescue Sandfell from orbit of Kerbal. Why don't we do that both in one launch? Yeah, sound good? Sound good? Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so let's open the super duper pooper here. Nah, let's just make a goddamn new one. Okay, this should be sufficient to get back from orbit. And let's bring that ablator down to 40%. That's a good strategy right there. Let's get rid of that mono propellant. We don't fucking need it. Don't need no fucking mono propellant. Okay, put a decoupler on there. Put a fuel tank on there. Put that engine on that bitch. Hello, Mr. Khan. Okay, those are too tiny. Alright. Okay. Oh, I am going to need a form of control on this thing, which would imply Is that straight? Yeah. Extend antennas. Perfect. Okay. This is looking good. Let's get that vector engine on there. Let's see. Thrust at sea level's 205, and this is 167. This is better thrust at sea level. So we're going to use that. And let's just go ahead and make 4 of them. Alright. Excellent. And big engines. Big nose cones. Okay. Fuel delivery overlay. Enable crossfeed. So we want these ones to fall off first. So let's bump them up to 50. Shit. Shit. Okay. So instead of doing quad symmetry, I'm just gonna go like this. Okay. Oh shit. What the hell's going on? That's good. That's good. Then we're gonna take that and put one here, and put one here. Now we're gonna take these. We're going to reduce. What the hell? Why are these outer ones? Okay. Fuck it. Disable crossfeed. We're going to use the fuel lines as per tradition, not the advanced tweakables. What the hell? Oh, right. Okay. Alright, so let's get rid of that damn symmetry. Have these fuel tanks feed into this, and then have these tanks here feed into that. Yes, very good. Now let's go 4 times symmetry and put these struts in here. Okay. That looks weird. Isn't it going to pull from the outer ones? It should. I don't know why it's all weird. Fuel delivery overlay. Why is that not symmetrical? I don't know. Let's just trust in the 3D rendering. Okay, this vector engine probably doesn't have quite enough vectoring. What's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Authority! Authority! Respect my vectoring authority! To steer that very well, so we're going to throw on those fins. And you know what? Just to give this a I think this is all we need. I think this is all we need. So we're going to light up these engines. We're going to drop all 4 of those at once. Hell no. We're going to drop... Alright. We're going to drop these 2. And then we're going to drop those 2. Boom. So those ones, the east-west boosters, and then the north-south boosters. As per our asparagus aging, this should get me to orbit with a huge lower fuel tank. In fact, probably not enough. I'm going to have to add more authority there. Oh, definitely don't want to forget solar panels on this thing. Let's just do 3 of them like that. And a little bit of battery. See? See? See, senor? I'm in Nick 95. Sunglasses! Gumdrop, that's freaking out. Okay. Let's name this the Gumdrop. Okay, and let's get rid of that crew there because we're going to rescue that one crewmate and then take him to the moon and then take him back home. And will this have enough Delta V to do that? You know what? I actually don't think it will. I don't think it will. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, save the Gumdrop and launch. You know, if it can't get to the moon and down onto the moon and all that, and holy crap, let's see, Sandfell's shipwreck. Sandfell's moving in the opposite direction that I want to go. Oi! That's troublesome. So... I'm going to launch west. Yeah. I can't remember a time where I've ever launched west before. I've played this game a lot, but I've never, ever launched west. Yeah! Yeah! Ooh, that was a nice pop. You guys can hear me, right? 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 Yeah, you probably hated that. I could just check this. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can hear me. Oh, shit. There we go. Bye, suckers! Oh, shit, I forgot to rotate the capsule, but no matter. Whatever. It's all good. Oh, this is one hell of a nice flight launch profile, I'll tell you that. This is going awesome. Swimmingly. Swimmingly, like my period. Apoapsis. Jesus, that's a lot of fire. Winking face. Is that supposed to be an emoticon? You're trying to flirt with me? Ooh! Mein Gott in Himmel! My parachute can't take much longer! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, shit! There goes the parachute. Oh, that wasn't the parachute. Well, there's really no point in this anymore. I can't shut it off. Oh, man. I can't do anything because it destroyed my control capsule. And then the battery, let's see. Which means it should be spinning out of control, but I guess aerodynamic forces are keeping it straight. Let's see what happens with this. This is going to be interesting. Nope. Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh, it's being pushed out of the way? No, I think it's the curvature of the Earth is dropping away, and that's why it's changing. I want to see what happens to this thing. How far will it fly out? Will it reach orbit anyway? Probably not. I really doubt that it's going to reach orbit anyway. A stable orbit. Really, really doubtful. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, maybe. This is insane. Oh my god. I've never seen something like this. This is crazy. Bye. Yes. Bye, my love. It's going to hit escape velocity. Is it going to hit escape velocity or is it going to run out of fuel first? Boom! Escape velocity! Oh, is it going to go to Venus? Not quite. Okay, well, let's no, I don't want to do any reversions. The only time I'm allowed to revert is if the Kraken strikes me, because that's the game's fault. It's not my fault. So I'm going to have to launch Gumdrop again. And this time I'm going to have to do a steeper flight profile so I don't burn up in the atmosphere. Oh, but Jeb, you're not supposed to be in there. You're not supposed to be in there, Jeb. Okay. Wrong building. Wrong building. Okay. Crew, not you. Stop sneaking into the spaceship. Jebediah. Damn you, Jebediah. Okay. Steeper flight profile this time. Okay. Launching. Let's go ahead and click that. Naturally, that's going to take me westward. But I also want my profile to take me northernly. Yes, northernly. That would be a good thing. So I'm going to aim that away-ish direction. Okay, and I definitely want to fly. Okay, just do your thing. Just don't spin out of control, especially now that I ditched 2 fins. But I've got this guy here. Oh yeah. Alright. Oh shit, let's see. You know, that's not a bad angle that I got going on there. Oh shit, no. I didn't tell you to switch to our orbit. Don't do that. That's not what I told you to do. Stay that way and actually keep burning. Might as well, right? I mean, there's really no point in burning, since we've got such a high, we got to raise that apoapsis super high, so there's really no point in doing a low circularization here. Okay, those can be ditched. I ditched them a little late, but whatever. The apoapsis rises, rises, rises. Set as target. I might be coming up too steep here. Yeah, let's just switch over there. I'm going to try to get this ascending node to be over the apoapsis, so I'll switch, just go back and forth here till that happens. Yeah, this is how you do things fuel efficiently. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go a bit north. Okay. So now, of course, we want to roughly circularize it and at the same time match the orbital plane. And we can go ahead and bring down the vertical velocity at the same time. So let's match that orbital plane. So definitely my phasing's going to be way off in phasing. I mean, I'm going to have a close encounter. My target's going to be there. I'm going to be way out here. Each time I go around, it's going to go clip, clip, clip. Fortunately, I have, at this altitude, lots of time acceleration potential. So I like that orbit. I like the shape of it, so I'm going to go ahead and time accelerate to my maneuver node after I first extend my antennae so I don't lose communications. Come on, extend antennae. Extend antenna. Excellent. Alright. See ya. You know what? If I circularize a bit more, I'm actually not going to be in that bad of a phasing angle. So let's go ahead and do something to that effect here. Okay, gonna want to aim south a little bit. No, north, north. Right. Okay, north and more circularized and slightly down. So like there. Yeah. Now less down. Okay, now prograde. What am I doing? There, orbit. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Boom. Okay. So that's going to be a pretty close encounter. Not the absolute closest, but it doesn't need to be. I can adjust that as I come in. Switch over to target. And as we get really close, there's the divergence of our two vectors. So, whoa, 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 you're spinning hard. Okay, stage view. I've got very little fuel left in this stage. Okay, now that we're down to 0.9 kilometers separation. And time accelerate to approach the node. Okay, and you're seeing divergence again, so okay. This is good enough. This is gonna fly right behind me, so we can switch over and go to Sandfell's craft and try to see where the hell that other rocket is. Where is it? Oh, where the hell is it? Do you guys see it? Do you guys see it? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Where is it? Where is it? Set its target. Okay. It should be pointing that way, but up more. Where's the Earth? Oh, there it is. There's my target. Okay. EVA. So let's get off here. Let's turn on our ICS and turn on our lights and fly roughly in that general direction. Oh, whoa, looming out of the darkness. There it is. Fly like an eagle into the future. Ah! Alright. Board the spacecraft. Yay! Okay. Now here's the tricky part. I have to set a new target. And it looks like that's more periapsis-y. So we're going to add a maneuver. And we're going to go up like this. Intersect. Got to intersect the moon. Moon's orbit. Right there. So, that's 56.2 meters per second. Might even be able to do it with just this engine. So let's just time accelerate. 2 days, 1 day, 5, 4, 3, 2 hours. 1 hour and 30 minutes. 50, 40, 30, 12, 10, 8. I don't know how to count. 8 minutes. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. This doesn't have to be that precise. Hey, look at that. I did the maneuver. did the maneuver with 12.6 units of oxidizer to spare. And if I just increase that orbital period, no, decrease the orbital period. Oh my god. Ugh. No, 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 no. Oh, come on. Come on, that's not cool. Alright. Oh. Okay. Well. Well, I'm gonna get a tiny kick from the moon. Actually, wait, no, this is where I want to burn northernly-ish, like that. And that'll bring my encounter with the moon periapsis. I want to burn this way too. This way and this way. No, 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 no. Oh, there we go. Nice. Whoop. It's like gonna put me on a polar orbit over the moon. There we go. 48.7 meters per second. Alright, so why don't we just do that? Let's just watch that periapsis come down. It's gonna come down. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. And I still haven't even fully used up that stage. So let's time accelerate until we're pretty low over the moon and then drop into an orbit here. Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna be zipping by that moon. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure I have enough delta V to slow down, land, and come back. Pretty sure. Pretty sure, not entirely sure. We'll see what happens. So we're going to go retrograde here. Woo! Going retrograde. Just gonna burn off everything in this tank and then light up the second engine. Okay. I'll slow us down. Slow us down, drop us onto a trajectory. I gotta stay on the sunny side of things, so I want to make sure my trajectory. Ooh, yeah. Oh man, this is a lot of delta V I needed here. That's good. That's good. I like it. I like it. Okay, we're going to add maneuver. Cannot add maneuver. Control locked. Add a maneuver. Cannot add maneuver. Control locked. Okay, that's because I'm not in, like, range. There we go. Now that I'm in range of... It's beaming through the moon. I shouldn't be in range, but I am. Okay, we're going to slow ourselves down, and this will give us an estimate of how long that burn will take. Okay, 30-second burn. So at T equals 30 seconds roughly, that's when we'll light up those engines. Now that actually gives me a tiny little bit of wiggle room. a tiny little bit of wiggle room. If I do it right at t equals 30. This is how you suicide burn here. Okay. This is one seriously close burn. Actually, I'm going to push it a little bit further. I'm going to say t minus 25. Ooh, I'm dangerous. Okay. Yikes, it does not look that favorable. No, I chickened out. Chickened out, pressed it at t minus 29. Still. Oh, do not land on the slope. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, I've got enough fuel. I got plenty of fuel. I'll totally be making it back to Earth after landing on the moon, after rescuing Sandfell, who was probably trying to get to the moon in his own way. Okay, just don't fall. Don't fucking fall. Don't fucking fall on me. Oh, I'm going to get flagged for inappropriate content. Oh, how dare he say that. Okay. Why don't you take an EVA report and take a surface sample and store those experiments. An EVA report there. Nope. No, not there. There! Oh, I've already got that one. Well, plant that damn flag. Okay, Sandfell. Sandfell is a girl. Sandfell. A girl. Damn it. Okay. Alright. Turn on your jetpack. And, whoa. Why aren't you... Okay, have I... And board. Okay. Board. Alright, basically, if you fly straight up and just a little bit east and just the tiniest bit south, you will go home. So that's what I'm going to do. Right that way. Yes. And that will take me home. That direction. Yes. He's going home. Sandfell is going home. Woo! Woohoo! Look at that fuel! Okay. And there we go. I got Sandfell home. That trajectory will get Sandfell home. So here we go. Goodbye, Mun. And exiting sphere of influence. Now approaching home very quickly. Yay! 2 watchers. 2 watchers. Okay. So 2 viewers. How is it going, second viewer? I hope you're not 5th watcher. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. We got to aim surface-wise backwards and fire that engine to bleed off as much speed as possible. Before doing that, okay, so now we are coming in at a fairly steep. That's perfect. That's perfect. I'm gonna retract one of these antennae. Don't know. Go ahead and retract them both. Don't know what they're going to do. Oh, that one broke. Didn't quite fully retract. Okay. Ablator. Ablator is dropping. You are ablating through your ablator. But I know exactly how much ablator I need. Please. Please. Don't treat me like that. Yeah. Okay, we are on a suborbital trajectory now. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to take a crew report on the moon. That was dumb. But I did get a surface sample. I did get a EVA report. Okay, ablator 7.55. Yeah. What did I fucking tell you? That's exactly how much ablator I needed. Okay, still falling over ocean, might I add. Pretty soon the parachute will become deployable. We are bleeding off that energy crazy fast. Oh, parachute is deployable. Now we just gotta drop down into the ocean. 6.5. Slow down time acceleration before we hit the 1,000 meter mark. Whoa, I'm not over the ocean. Where am I? Kerbin's grasslands. Okay, EVA. Go ahead and do an EVA report over Kerbin's grasslands. And hopefully we'll be able to see the ground as it comes at us. Ooh. Yep, there it is. There it is. Oh, and take that data. And store that data. Now do an EVA report there. And take a surface sample. Why not? Now board. And go ahead and recover the vessel. Accomplishing two missions and one thing. And getting lots of science. Science! Alright. So, what's our next mission? Woo! Notice how we had not failed a single mission. None failed, none cancelled, all completed, which is why we have very good reputation. Okay, explore the moon. Dock 2 vessels on or around the moon. Rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of the moon. So I think these have to be 2 different vessels launched to the moon from 2 launches. So we're going to go with that. And yeah. Yep. Rescue Piper from orbit of the moon. I want to build an orbital space station around Kerbal, though. Let's see. Well, there's got to be something that's worth more science. Observational surveys of Kerbal near Berig's Plain. There's a decent amount of money. How much money does that give? This one gives a lot more money. Science data from space around the moon. Sure, why not? Explore the moon. Sure, that's easy. Rescue Piper. Sure, why not? Rescue Wilden. Sure. That's going to give me crazy amounts of money. Crazy amounts of money. I'm going to be able to upgrade that. Well, maybe not quite, but got to be able to upgrade a lot, so I got to build a 3-person vessel here. Oh wait, first let's see what kind of parts we can unlock here. I obviously got some science I want to spend, 266 science. I can unlock 2 of these, only 2 of them. Ooh. Or I can unlock this one and that one. Let's see. Which docking node do I have? Do I have the bigger docking node? Just have that tiny docking node? Oh, come on. Where's the bigger docking node? Not that it matters, but oh, it's right there. Okay. There's the 3-person capsule. It's kind of neat, although, you know, I could make a 3-person ship out of just 2 parts. So, it's kind of unnecessary, but I do like the format of that, and I do like that. That's pretty. Do I have the bigger fuel tanks? I do have that fuel tank and that fuel tank. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. Boom. Purchased! And purchased again! What? What? How much did that cost? I had 266 science. Damn it! Damn it! It cost... What? 260. That cost 200 science to unlock? But that one costs 160. No! But... Okay. Fine. Fine. Be that way. I will just do a science mission first. I'll get science from the moon! The moon! And bring it back! Stupid. Now I got this stupid capsule here. Fine. You know what? No. Doing that. I'm doing that. I'm just going to have to resign to the fact that I messed up on planning. And I'm going to do that. I have a couple of drogue chutes. Gonna turn down the monopropellant. Put the 1.25 meter heat shield on with, I'm gonna need more ablator. Let's go with 80 ablator. I have to dock. Dock 2 vessels on or around the moon. Fine. Okay. I have to launch 2 of these. 2. Touche bag. Now this alone should get me to orbit fairly easily. So if I just add Now what for an engine? I think this would get me to lunar orbit. I'm just gonna add that. There we go. This should definitely get me to lunar orbit. Pretty sure. Not 100% positive. You know what? I'm not 100% positive at all. I'm going to bring these up. Give us plenty of fuel here. Okay. That's going to get me to lunar orbit. That's going to get me to a place up there. And I will need to come back. So there we go. It's just like the last ship, pretty much, except for I need a couple of these. You know what? Sweet. Okay. Actually, these are going to overheat during re-entry if I leave them there. So let's move them slightly. There we go. Nice and clipped inside. That's good. I like it. Okay. So let's check your staging. Go up. Alright, that should get me to lunar orbit. Let's forget the pilot. And we're going to launch 2 of these. So, lunar orbiter. Save. Launch! Oh man, how many times have I done this mission? Flying to the moon. Well, I guess I'm rendezvousing, rescuing. That's a little different, but ooh. Uh-oh. Okay. This is very bad. Okay. You have to slow down. 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 Okay, you are not slowing down. Yeah. Yeah, I realized it was going to run out of power. So, I got some debris back. A tiny, tiny, tiny amount of debris. He's good. He's not good. Okay. Alright. Let's try again. Let's put a couple of solar panels on that damn thing. Okay. Save. Launch. Good to go. We are going to orbit. We are going to orbit and then we go to the moon. The moon. Here we go. And track the prograde vector. Ah! People hate me. There's like one person in this world who's all like, yeah, I'll watch this. Oh man, this thing is a little unwieldy, you know? I guess they hit each other. Let's take a look at what happened there. Wow. Okay. Gotta raise that apoapsis up. Raise it up, y'all. $44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49, 50, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 8, 9. Let's go a little further. There we go. Just keep pointed. Keep pointed prograde. All right. Let's go ahead and physically time accelerate till we get to near apoapsis. Because circularizing won't take much. Oh shoot. Sweet. Okay. So this one's in orbit. It's got a little bit of fuel. Let's go ahead and let's just launch the next one. Launch the next one. Launch it. Launch it. Launch it. What was it? Lunar orbiter. Okay, and we're not putting you on there. And what is the difference between these two? I don't know. Okay. One of them I had solar panels, one of them I did not. So let's just go into the vehicle assembly building. And get Jebediah out of there. Good. Save. Launch. Ugh. Alright. Launching again. Ugh. So, fairly soon, this month, the Falcon Heavy is going to debut, launched by SpaceX. I am absolutely, utterly excited about that. In fact, I think I will attempt to do a live stream of my reaction to the Falcon Heavy launch. So, depending on when it is, they haven't announced the exact date. I don't believe so. You know, we'll see. I'm gonna get on that. See if it's coming up while this burns. Hang on. Let me just stage here, and then I can get on like Google News or something. Actually, I'm going at a steeper launch trajectory, so. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. SpaceX in the news. Whoa, what was this? Late December launch. SpaceX aims for late December launch of Falcon Heavy. They're trying to get it by the end of the year. So, I mean, they originally thought they were going to get this done in 2012, so it is a long time overdue. So we're going to see ultimately which launch profile here is more optimal to get it to getting into orbit by comparing the amount of fuel left over when all is said and done. I believe this one will have less fuel than my other one, but you know, you never know. You never know. That's the difference between a scientist and a stupid person, is that a stupid person thinks they know, and a scientist knows they think. Gotta raise this up. Raise it up. Yeah, there we go. Can't believe I'm still in this atmosphere. Oh, almost out. Okay, technically this one's at a slightly higher orbit, but I don't think that's really going to make much of a difference in terms of the delta V that required to get there. Maybe like 4 meters per second. Anyway, I should go ahead and raise that periapsis here. Okay, so 368 units of oxidizer. 368 units of oxidizer left. This one, 468. Have much more oxidizer. So we're going to target the prograde vector. We're going to try to inject ourselves into lunar orbit around here. Yeah, that's about right. Ding. Okay, 23 kilometers. I want to be able to time accelerate, so I'm going to leave that lunar periapsis at 23 kilometers. Go ahead and line up that vector and perform the burn. Oh, burn. Okay, I'm gonna guess here that it's gonna take me about a minute long to perform this burn. So let's light it up at 30 seconds, shall we? You still watching? Wow. You have as little of a life as I do. Oh, wow. Didn't need to do that. I can wait until T-minus 16 or so. Not even. Let's go 14. There we go. Of course, I'm going to run out of fuel in this stage probably before the burn's over. Go ahead and target prograde vector. Let's go ahead and just be ready to oh, come on. Oh, right. That's not the right orbit. E 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close enough. Alright. Let's, so that's on its way. It's got very little fuel, not even enough to circularize. Maybe not even enough to turn the trajectory from hyperbolic into elliptical. So we're going to create the same maneuver here. that back just a tad. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. Now this time I am going to start it right away here, so I have 2 ships going to the moon. 2 ships going to the moon. Yay! Yay! Up. And I am out of fuel, so let's bring up that other engine. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Whoop. Okay, let's slowly drop that periapsis down to 20 kilometers. Close enough. Alright. Alright. So let's follow these 2 ships as they fly out. And this is going to be real interesting here because I'm not sure which one will reach the periapsis over the moon first. Okay, Piper's derelict, Wilden's wreckage, and Munlandy lander. Oh, right. That one I had to ditch because it ran out of fuel in one of my previous episodes here. You know what? This one's orbiting in the opposite direction, so I'm going to have this guy here actually accelerate so that he'll come around and yeah. Okay, so set as target. Oh, how convenient. How... Ooh, that's fairly convenient. So, if I... Performing a rendezvous like this with the minimum delta V required is often tricky. I think this is going to do it. Bingo. Right there. Oh, I got a message. Hi, I literally just watched your video counting to 210 in one breath. Is that so? Yeah, that took me a bit of practice. Yeah, I've already made like $100 off of that video with how many views it's gotten. Maybe even 200. I'll have to look at the exact numbers, but just in the last week or so, I've gotten 100,000 hits on it, and I've made like $100. So I never thought I would make money from doing such a crazy, stupid little stunt, but hey, that's pretty cool. Thought it was very impressive. Was it actually in the world records? It was on a website called Record Setter. I don't think Guinness actually lists that particular world record, so it was on the website Record Setter. It's still listed on that record, although the record has been since surpassed. So, Mark Orderica, do you play Kerbal Space Program? No, but I just tried you challenge. Yeah, how high did you count? I got to 100. Not bad for your first try. No, that isn't bad. That's not bad at all. Years ago, I posted a video where I recited the entire Henry V's the opening to Henry V, Oh for a Muse of Fire, all of that in a single breath. So when I saw Vsauce mention the world record for the highest number counted to in one breath, I knew I've got to break that record. So, if you counted to 100, I bet you could, if you spent like several hours, or let's put that into number of attempts. What you got to do is you got to hyperventilate. You got to hyperventilate for about 3 minutes continuously until so that your blood is saturated with oxygen and depleted of carbon dioxide. And when you do that, it makes setting the record much easier. You'll be able to count much higher. And then you've got to very carefully control your breathing so that, or how you say the words, how you exhale, so that you're exhaling the smallest amount of air with each number. And if you do that, you'll be able to get well into the 100s. You might even beat my record. Now, it took me probably 20, 30 tries, which means I was probably trying for 4 hours, 5 hours of practice to push myself to the absolute limits, and I was able to get it up to 210. So, but somebody else got it up to like 215, 220, something like that. I don't know what it was, but you know, I just didn't have the time to beat that record, and it hurts when you sorry, gotta do these maneuver nodes. Good tip, thank you, I'll remember that, yeah. Okay, that's an excellent maneuver to do, although first I've got to execute the first maneuver. Yeah, and when you take your final breath after hyperventilating, you breathe out as much as you can. Absolutely every ounce of air you have, you've got to just pound out of your chest, and then breathe in and in until you feel like you're going to explode. Because you got to have the most amount of air in your lungs, and you got to make sure all the air in your lungs is fresh. Good tip, thank you, I'll remember that. Do you have PS3? It's kind of funny you mentioned that. A friend of mine just recently donated or gave us his PS4. So yes, I mean, yeah, it's technically it's not a PS3, but you know, you can play PS3 games on it, so damn it, I keep doing that. Okay. Alright. Okay. So oh shoot. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so at apoapsis, I got to reverse the direction that I'm flying. Okay. Let's go ahead and... there we go. So this game is just amazing. Do you have to basically control space in this? No, I'm controlling my spaceship. So right here is the user interface for orbital planning. This is the map view. The blue line is the current orbit that I'm on, which is this big ellipse. And right here I'm saying I'm doing what's called a maneuver node. It's where I'm going to burn my engine and what direction and for how long. Rather, it's a velocity vector. It's a change in velocity vector. It's presumed to be instantaneous, and it'll show me what the new orbit will be on. And then these little indicators here are the position of my target, which I have selected. That's the green orbit, is the target orbiting spacecraft that I've got to rendezvous with. And these little markers here indicate where they will where the two spacecraft will be at the closest approach. So right now I've got it set up, so I'm going to do a burn right over here, which is going to reverse my direction so that it's in the same direction as this one orbiting, and it'll come around and the two spacecraft will actually nearly collide right here. And so when I get to this point, that's when I will perform a burn to match velocities, and then we'll be on the same orbital trajectory. This is all stuff that it seems very complicated, but you learn it really quickly, actually, if you start playing this game, which is an incredible game, might I add. I believe this spacecraft is going to rendezvous with this spacecraft before I have to do that burn, so I'm going to switch over to that one. So you'll see here, I'm going on that trajectory. I'm going to keep my eye on this spacecraft, see if it approaches the apoapsis, which actually I think I was wrong, is the other way around. So you basically have to know a lot about physics and rockets. Yeah, a little bit. You got to know how rockets are, basically what rockets do. They burn the propellants and they throw the mass in that direction, and that gives them a little kick in this direction, right? And so while the rocket is burning, it's actually getting lighter and lighter as it's being pushed away. So it makes the math a little more complicated than just, thrust divided by mass, gives you your acceleration. It's a little more complicated. You got to calculate what's called delta V, or the change in velocity that the rocket is capable of performing, which is a real simple equation. It involves some college algebra because it uses a logarithm, but it's the kind of thing you just punch in the numbers on your calculator and you get the result. That's if you want to be like crazy good at this game and you want to plan your rockets to be only the minimum size that you need them to be. Otherwise, there's just a lot of intuition. So just keep watching how I play this. So I've got that maneuver coming up here, and it says node in 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 39 seconds. So I have these keys that will time accelerate and allow me to time warp right up to that point where I need to do that burn. And now I've got this nav ball, so I'm going to switch over here so you can see what the spacecraft does. I change the orientation of the spacecraft, and I'm lining it up along this blue vector. And that is the vector that I planned when I set up that maneuver. So that tells me I've got to accelerate my spacecraft in that direction. So that's why I pointed it that way. And I've got the little timer here, so it's going to tell me exactly when I perform the burn, and I've got the change in velocity that I've got to perform right there. So we've got 4, 3, 2, 1 minute, and I'm going to start my burn about 5 seconds in advance, because with this ship I estimate that it gives me about 1.5 Gs of acceleration. Which means that it should take about 10 seconds for it to perform this burn, roughly. So I'm going to just time accelerate to, okay, 5 seconds. So I'm going to perform that burn there, and I'm just going to keep on that vector until this bar drops down. Keep on the vector a little bit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, So now that my ship's velocity has changed, you'll see that it's on that new orbit, which very much resembles what that dashed orange line was earlier. It's going to take, because this is in a higher orbit, getting to that point is going to take more time than this ship getting to that point. I'm doing 2 different rendezvous at this time with 4 different ships. So these 2 ships here and here are ones that I don't control, but because they're my rescue target ships. There are people in those ships that I need to rescue with these spacecraft. So I'm going to switch over to this other one. And now that I've set it up so that I'm going to intersect with this target vehicle, I'm just going to time accelerate to a couple of minutes before that point. So I'm going to actually add a maneuver just to get an idea, and I'm going to... So these are the vectors. These are my unit vectors to control what kind of burn I'm going to do. I've got to kill my vertical speed, but also slow down horizontally, and change the plane, the axis of the of my orbit. So I've got to match that orbit. And this is a little unnecessary what I'm doing right now, because I can do this all on the fly. This is hard to do. All on the fly when I get close. So there we go. That will approximately match that orbit. And the reason I did that is because I want to see, okay, 325 meters per second. That's going to take me 22 seconds roughly to perform that burn. So I'm going to want to start at about 11 seconds in advance. It'll also tell me which way to point. That way. Oops. Okay. That way. And then I can change my my velocity vector indicator to target, which shows me where the target is. The target is right now this direction. On the nav ball, it's that direction, which in real space is that way. And I'm going to be approaching it very rapidly, so I'm going to be wanting to go there. But my maneuver node plan is there, and you're going to see these vectors are going to kind of drift towards that point. It's all kind of crazy vector math. Okay. Oh, be back in like 20 seconds. I need to use the restroom. When was that? Just tell me when you're back. I've got 2. Got 2 viewers. Okay, I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to wait for Mark to get back. Obviously, he hasn't seen this game, so this is a little lesson I can give to him as he once he gets back. He's peeing. Okay, I'm back. All right, so I set up this maneuver node to match the velocity of my target spacecraft here, and I'm actually not going to use that because that was just used to estimate how long the burn would take. In order to match the velocity of my target, it's going to take about 325.9 meters per second, which is going to take about 20 seconds or so for me to perform that burn. So I'm going to wait until around T-20 to perform the burn. But what I'm really going to do is I'm going to look at the nav ball, and there is my relative velocity vector and the relative position of my target. So I'm actually going to kill that node, take it out of there, and an easy trick is to when I point my spacecraft, change the position, I can get rid of this nose cone. There we go. When I fire up the engine, it's going to want to push, it's going to have the tendency to push this retrograde velocity vector away from my direction indicator here. And that will push it to be right on top of my anti-direct displacement vector for my target. So it will align my relative velocity up to the target. In other words, it'll change my velocity so I am flying straight at the target instead of askew to the target. And I can do that starting now. You can see there's my target here indicated on the screen, and if I fire up my engine a little bit, it's reducing my relative velocity, but also changing my relative velocity to be more in line with the target. I prefer to perform my burns in map mode because I don't really need to see the action. I just use the nav ball and the relative velocity indicators. Now, this game is just absolutely incredible because you get to design all kinds of your own spacecrafts and design your own mission profiles, including rendezvous and docking, and I can't rave enough about it. It's got really accurate physics. It's just awesome. Lunar orbiter debris is coming at me. Oh, it's going away from me. Okay. So I'm going to time accelerate a little bit here. We're going to keep our eyes on this. We're going to keep our eyes on the vectors indicated right here. And you're going to notice it's going to, as that starts to get closer, these are going to start to diverge. So I'm going to fire up my engines again. And see if I can slow down. See, I was a little late there. Okay. So my target passed me, but that's all right. I matched velocities with it, and then some. Now I'm coming back at it at 2 meters per second. I am drifting towards it. It's only 100 meters away, so it's going to take me less than a minute. And you can see that we have a nearly identical orbit, and that's because we are in the same position and traveling at the same velocity. Even though I am moving relative to it, our velocity relative to the moon, which is in the hundreds of meters per second, is pretty close. You seem to know a lot about this game, but it is very interesting. I actually told my brother I was watching something really interesting and to not ask me anything until I told him to. You know, if your brother's watching too, then you know, why don't you just ask the questions that your brother has? The game is called Kerbal Space Program, as mentioned in the video description, and it's all about, it's a kind of a physics simulator game involving rockets that you design and launch. So right now, I'm really close to my target vehicle, and our velocities are virtually identical. I'm going to switch over to the target vehicle here and tell that Kerbal to go on EVA. And she's got a little jetpack, so she jumped out of the spacecraft. She'll put on her jetpack. Okay, something is wrong with the settings in this game because the Kerbals are no longer auto-aligning to my camera angle, which makes navigating by jetpack easy. Now the spacecraft I have has a robotic controller there, that hexagonal module there at the top. And that's why I was able to fly it without a Kerbal on the inside. So there's room for her to board. And there we go. She's inside the spacecraft. Let's go back to our map. Perform the second rendezvous. Okay. He just started watching and I told him everything. Alright. Switch to this one, Lunar Orbiter. So I'm trying to perform 2 rescue missions at the same time. So I've got 2 robotic spacecraft that are rendezvousing, that are catching up, matching the same position and velocity as my 2 target spacecraft, which, you know, I have no control over the target spacecraft. They are derelicts. They are kind of shipwrecked out in space. So they're on their own little orbits. See, I'm in this highly elliptical orbit with my robotic spacecraft, and it is going to catch up with this spacecraft right here, which is coming around here. So at this point, as indicated by these 2 nodes here, they will be very close relative to each other. So I'm just going to time accelerate. Oh, they're actually orbiting the other way than I indicated, so here we go. See, these 2 spacecraft are going to come very close to each other, but they're going to have a very high relative velocity. If I switch over to relative velocity, you can see it's at nearly 200 meters per second when they get close to each other, which is like 400 to 500 miles per hour, something like that. So obviously you would not want them to crash into each other like that. I cannot control this. Why can I not control it? Oh, lovely. Okay, so I did a stupid thing here. I aligned my spacecraft pretty much perfectly lined up with the sun, which means the solar panels, these little solar panels on the side, aren't receiving any sunlight, which means my spacecraft ran out of power, which means my robotic control module here cannot steer it around. Oh boy. So, I have a solution for that, and that means this one's going to fly by. They're not going to crash each other, and they're not into each other, and they're not on a collision course. They're going to fly by each other, but they're actually going to be 13.9 kilometers apart. So, you know what would make this game even cooler? Aliens. Well, it's funny you should say that, because what do you think this character is here? Right? Little green man, or woman in this case. That's an alien. So yeah, this game is about aliens. But anyways, so this other spacecraft I have has plenty of fuel that I believe I can perform rendezvous and dock with this one. Oops. I'm supposed to set that as a target here. So it'll take a bit of delta V. Delta V is a unit of work that a spacecraft can do to change its orbit. It means change in velocity. It's how fast you can make the spacecraft go from a standstill point. So we're going to set as target. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the... I'm going to try adding a maneuver here. We're going to raise our apoapsis, the point in our orbit that's furthest from the governing body. I'm going to raise it up to about there. And then I'm going to perform a plane change. Actually, you know what? Changed my mind. I am going to perform a plane change here. Okay. My brother asks, why do they call it delta V? Well, delta is a Greek letter, and it stands for change. And V is the symbol that physicists use for velocity. So delta V means change in velocity. A spacecraft could be, can change its velocity by a certain amount of delta V, and that could be 1,000 meters per second. So that means if it's already traveling 6 kilometers per second, if it burns in the direction that it's going, it can accelerate to 7 kilometers per second before it runs out of fuel. That's delta V. Okay, so we're going to perform the plane change so that the node intersects that intersection point right there. And we're going to just tweak these a little bit so that I'm just about matching the orbital plane of my target. And that the relative position nodes pretty much line up. Perfect. Okay, so they're going to be 1 kilometer apart if I perform this burn right there at that point in time, which is 111.7 meters per second, and will occur in 2 hours and 7 minutes. What time is it for you? Right now, it is midnight where I am. Okay, so I'm going to time accelerate until my spacecraft is at that point in the orbit. Obviously, we can't just wait around for hours and hours and hours for our spacecraft to get to the right position in the orbit. We have a little timer here at the bottom of the screen that indicates, oh, there's 4 minutes until we got to perform our burn. 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's 11:02 here. I see that you probably live in California, maybe Washington, maybe Oregon, maybe Nevada. Or British Columbia. I guess that's a possibility too. Or maybe you're in Baja, California. Okay. Whoop. That blue indicator is our current orbit, so. Okay. So I overshot a little bit. I'm going to slow down. Put those vectors on top of each other. I'm going to burn, let's see, north or south? Descending node. Hey, I gotta burn south. Let's burn south a little bit. Okay, you know what? That's close enough. Alright, I live in Arizona, but funny you say Nevada because I'm leaving to Las Vegas in like an hour. Yes, Arizona, where they don't have daylight savings time. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Daylight savings time is still going on? Is that? Whatever. Or are you just like on the far, far west side of Arizona in like Yuma, and the time zone actually cuts out of California and into you? Is that it? Is that it? Did I guess right? Are you in Yuma? Okay. Well, let's try matching velocities with our target. Right now our relative velocity is 275.7 meters per second, which would be blazing fast. So, as I explained to your brother earlier, I'm going to try to push this velocity vector over the position vector for my target. So In other words, what I'm doing is I'm burning so that I am flying at my target directly and at a slower rate. So now I'm just going to hover over the relative velocity. So my target's somewhere over there, and I'm flying at it at 240 meters per second, which is like 600 miles an hour. Okay. So I'm going to slow down. Slow down relative to my target. You can see my target's coming up there. Still got, okay, relative velocity vectors now right on the target. So I'm flying straight at the target again. I'll time accelerate as we get closer. The relative velocity will be more askew to the target. Okay, you are in Mountain Time Zone. So I guess daylight savings time is still going on here. That's weird. Usually it ends in October, right? Wow, that was a close one. I was not paying attention. I was not being careful there. Okay. Now it's time to perform docking. And docking is really difficult without what's called a reaction control system, which is little thrusters that can push you up or down, forwards or backwards, side to side, at slow rates of speed so you can home in on your target and be lined up perfectly. So the way I fix this is I push my relative velocity vector to be right on the target and be around 1.2 meters per second. You know what? Since we're so far out, I'm going to make it go a little faster here. So you can see that my target there is coming up fast. I'm flying at it about 25 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, something like that. 10.3 meters per second. As I get closer, I push that velocity vector to be more on target, and I'm going to slow down to under 3 meters per second. Let's go 2 meters per second. There we go. Now, I'm going to point my spacecraft straight at my target. And I'm going to quickly switch over to the other one. And, oh right, I can't control that one, right? What am I thinking? Okay, so let's kill the velocity here. Now I got to actually use the screen of what's going on to avoid crashing into. Okay, let's just do relative velocity, kill that relative velocity. Okay. Alright, so I've killed the relative velocity. I've got two spacecraft out here. This one I cannot turn. This one I can turn, but only thrust in the direction that I'm going. So I've got to visually look at how these are lined up here. And I want to move into a line extending from the middle of this section engine through the nose of this spacecraft out here. So if I just line up like that, okay. Now I've got to cancel out the velocity change that I just made and do that roughly when the center of gravity of this rocket is in line with this spacecraft. Okay. Docking is obviously a slow, tedious procedure because it's easy to mess up and when you mess up it's bad because you know your spacecraft kind of explode. Okay. So what do we got here? Okay. It's probably good. Alright. Now point it directly at my target. Okay. So now I'm slowly drifting towards the target at 0.2 meters per second. I can do a little bit faster. I've got this docking node and this docking node, and they're going to come together, and everybody's going to be happy. Fortunately, they're magnetized in this game, so when I get close, they do that. And there we go. Docked 2 spacecraft with no RCS. And now I want to change the orientation of my spacecraft so that the solar panels are pointing towards the sun. Holy crap, this is... Oh man, this is unwieldy. Okay, these there's kind of magical forces here that are torquing these spacecraft. Real spacecraft do have reaction wheels, but they don't easily change the orientation of large spacecraft. They can only perform a certain amount of rotational moment before they become saturated with their own velocity, and you have to do momentum dumping in some form. But in order to make this game more fun, they made the reaction wheels more powerful and more have unlimited angular momentum imparting capability. So these 2 spacecraft are docked. They're fueling up. I'm going to go ahead and transfer fuel from one spacecraft into the other. And shut down this engine. We're going to make sure we're controlling from there. Still have fuel from this, so we'll hang on to that fuel tank, that rocket stage, until we're ready to ditch it. So let's see here. This was the spacecraft that I wanted to rendezvous with, but haven't. It has an occupant. This one does not. So let's see what we're going to do here. First thing, we want to match the planes with our plane with our target. We want to match relative velocity, or we want to have the orbit be fairly close. So we're going to set up a maneuver that somewhat mimics the perfect. That is the maneuver that we are going to perform. So let's line ourselves up with the maneuver vector. It's going to be 182.9 meters per second. That can be done. Time accelerate. Or here we are orbiting the moon. Oh, overshot. Okay, whatever. And we can always make tweaks later. All right. Going to perform rendezvous. Alright. Okay. So I've got these two goofballs in a spacecraft that will take them home. Whew. Oh, I got 3 people watching, so I can't stop the live stream now. Alright, so let's transfer as much fuel into this one. And, you know what? Let's go ahead and decouple that. We don't need it anymore. We got plenty of fuel to get home. Make sure we are controlling from there. And we're going to set up a maneuver node. Let's see, we're flying that way. Set up a maneuver node here. To take us back home. Rescue these 2 guys. Alright. So that's what we're going to do. Periapsis comes down, 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 down. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I have no way of controlling both of these guys to fall into the atmosphere at the exact same time, so what I'm going to have to do... Oh boy. Oh boy. I really should have kept that other module on, because this one... turn that hibernation on, and then I should have enough battery pack to decouple here. Hibernation and warp, manual, auto, manual, auto. Cool. Okay. So I can go ahead and decouple this node, undock, and now this spacecraft, I can go ahead and I want to reach the Earth faster. So that's what I'm going to do. Reach Kerbal faster, because I don't want us to fall back to Kerbal at the exact same time, because then we both burn up. So I'm reaching Kerbal much faster with this spacecraft while that one's slowly falling, and I'll just have to see how we do here. Okay, let's go ahead and burn retrograde to bleed off as much speed as we can with this engine, which there's got to be nearly 2,000 meters per second of delta V in this. It should bring me basically to a standstill. I think I could land with the engine, except for it's going to be too much weight for my parachutes. Oh, it ran out of fuel. So we can ditch that and just softly splash down in the ocean. Pulling about 3 Gs, 2, 1. Okay, we can deploy our parachutes. Falling, falling, falling. Let's make sure this one's way up there. It'll come down tomorrow. Okay, I want to get both of these guys back on solid ground before I call this live stream finished. Oh, it always takes so long to land. These and the really long nuclear and ion burns are the most obnoxious part of this game. All right. Now let's Let's go ahead and fly that sucker. It says it's on an escape trajectory out of Kerbal. I don't see how that could possibly be the case. So I am losing electric charge somehow, but fortunately not at a rate that's going to compromise the mission. So let's go ahead and turn on stability and point along the surface retrograde vector and time accelerate. Blazing through that atmosphere. That ablator is coming off fast. Ooh, did I give it enough? 7, 6, 5. Yeah, I gave it enough. All right. Here we go. Falling. Wait a minute. I think I've landed here before. No. Alright. So just gotta reach the ground. This might be a new biome for us, so we're gonna do a crew report. Kerbal Islands, cool. Okay. We'll do an EVA report. Take the data. Board again. Time accelerate. Yawn. And then we got to get out, do another EVA report, crew report, and take a surface sample. All right. Crew report. Good, 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 good. EVA. EVA report. Good. Take a surface sample with your mouth. Okay. Why don't you stand up? Go ahead and climb onto your spacecraft and board, and we will recover your vessel. Wow. Atonium Savage. Wow. You've been watching this whole time, I take it? Or were you the one who just showed up? All right. So, here are all my completed missions. Here are all my failed missions. None! Okay. And on my next live stream, we will explore Minmus. Alright. Leave facility. And we got 132 science. So, because I wanted to buy this anyways, it's purchased. Wait a minute. Did I say 132? Yeah, okay. 138.2. Okay. We're good. I'm losing my mind. It's after midnight, and I normally get up around 7 a.m. So, and I'm the kind of person who sleeps a lot. I need to sleep. I came just when you were about to end it. R.I.P. Yeah, Sir Biscuits. But you can always rewind, watch the whole thing over again. I talk about orbital mechanics quite a bit. I talk about how to dock without RCS. And, yeah, I've also got 2 other episodes of this game, 2 or 3 other episodes of this game, where you can see how I got to the point where I am. Right now, I'm halfway through that science tree. But halfway through is not even close, because these obviously become much more expensive. 160, 300, 550, 1,000 science each. So far, Archives says that, how much did I get total? Is there a total here? Can you see how many total science I've gotten? I don't know. I've gotten a lot of science. I've gotten a lot of science, but let's just count it up here. It's hundreds of science, thousands of science, but I need tens of thousands more to unlock all of that. Wow. Okay. How many Kerbals do I have? I have 8 Kerbals now. Sweet. And I've recruited engineers, scientists, and a pilot. I've got a good crew. I've never done this well in career mode without reverting my flights. Now I reverted one once because the game messed up, and that's always been my rule. I can revert a flight if the game messed up. I rage quit, and fortunately it didn't save, so that counts as a reversion. But yeah, whew. See you later.